On this episode of the Dr. Tina Show, I'm going to fill you in on what's going on with my Instagram account and where we are thus far and how we got here and what I'm doing to manage the stress. So without further ado, let's jump in. All right, guys, this is about as raw as it gets. I scraped together some makeup and I'm trying my best. I am exhausted. It is Sunday, September, 8th. It's the 8th. And 7 days ago, I was getting ready to meet my mom and daughter for brunch. We meet every other Sunday. I never get to see them otherwise, and they don't even live that far away. And I opened up my Instagram app and it said, your account has been suspended. And this is my account of 232,000 followers. Just like let that sink in for a minute, the enormity of that. And I freaked out. Total disclosure here. I freaked out. I had to lay down and put my feet up because I was starting to hyperventilate because I knew immediately that I wasn't going to get it back. I have a lot of clairvoyance and I have a sixth sense and I have not been wrong yet. And I felt everything just sort of, I don't know how else to describe it, but it sounds like crystal glass, just like a castle of crystal just shattering around you. That's what it sounds like. That's what it feels like. That's what my nervous system did. And so I laid down and put my feet up and I was like, okay, breathe. And so I hit the appeal button and it said, thank you, your account is being reviewed. And then about an hour later, I logged back in and it said, your account has been suspended. And I have been working diligently since that moment to try to get it back. And I have tried to pursue every avenue I have, every connection I have, every person I know who knows someone. I have even talked to people who work inside Meta who are willing to turn it back on for $10,000. So, and that's like multiple. I've had multiple offers of that. So I am in a bit of disbelief and I am also numb. I'm really numb. I don't want to get into it too much because I have a really severe PTSD from the past few years and that's not made up. That's like diagnosed. And it has been an incredibly difficult few years trying to basically go up against the censorship industrial complex. And I have been outspoken since 2020 when this nonsense all came down originally. And I pushed back hard because I did not feel that we were being told the truth. And I did not feel that we were being told anything that was terribly helpful when there was just a whole arsenal of helpful things that were available to us, including just becoming more resilient and getting our health together. And I did a whole podcast last week about a little bit about my thoughts around how I would handle things differently. So I've had a lot go on in the past few years. I've had my health fall apart. I've been politically targeted. I've had death threats. I've had to retire my husband from work a few times over. He keeps going back once in a while, but generally speaking, we keep him around me at all times. He travels everywhere with me because I fear for my safety. And that's not me being, dramatic. I just have had so much incredibly heavy stuff happen because I pushed back. And I know that none of it is just, there's no way. There's too many. It couldn't just be a coincidence. I've had my merchant services turned off. That's your credit card processing, guys. That's how you process credit cards and take payments. So I couldn't receive payments or sell my goods for months. And then when I did get them turned back on, I was told I was high risk. And I don't know if that was just somebody swindling me or what, but I was desperate to get somebody to give me merchant services. So there it is. And so this, as you can imagine, really throttled me because in 2021, just months after being on RFK's podcast and posting a study on Instagram, it was an actual study. I didn't think I could get in trouble for posting studies, but I got deplatformed once already at 105,000 followers, same account, 105,000 followers. And that got turned back on 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later, Trump actually went on the news and said he was going to file a class action suit against Meta. And I was like, great. And I found an appeals form online and I filled it out. And I said, after I talked to my lawyer, I had talked to my lawyer at length that week, and we had multiple grounds to bring a lawsuit, but that's me up against Goliath, and that's hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I just, I don't have the energy for that. Like, it's just not, it's not worth it. Like, it's a demon den on there anyway, as is. It's the inmates are running the asylum on those big accounts. They're really I will be totally straight with you. Most people with large accounts are really unhappy. Like, it's not a happy place to have a large account. It's a whole lot more fun when you're under 100,000. After 100,000, everybody wants to cut your head off. It's like there's a sign on you, that like open hunting season. And so, especially when you crest 200,000, it goes into a whole next echelon. And then there's just like nasty MDs who don't like alternative healthcare practitioners and don't think we know anything and want to sit there and like say nasty stuff in our comments, and we have to block them. And it just gets really ugly. It's unprofessional. It gets ugly. And you're just sitting there like, God, I'm just trying to help people. Like, I'm literally just trying to give people information here. Why does everybody have to keep coming at me? What the heck is going on here?